This is a 2015 Nissan Murano, and unlike almost any other car in the segment, perhaps at your local dealership, this car is all about style. And recently I had the chance to chat with Ken Lee, the designer whose design was chosen almost like a reality show contestant to come up with this latest third generation of the car, and that is coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. All right, first of all, let me have your surname and your title.
Hi, I'm Ken Lee, Senior Creative Manager at Nissan Design America in San Diego. Yep.
You're the guy who designed this.
Yeah, part of a team, but yes.
Yeah, but you're kind of the man who heads up the team. And we're sitting inside the lounge, right, which is what you're calling the back seat of the Murano because it's cool and because it's raining outside. So let's talk about the interior first. Tell me, why is this a lounge?
Sure. So when we talked to the customers, we realized how much they loved driving the Muranos, and then they told us this is not simply a selfish vehicle for the driver, but they enjoy the fact that they could take their friends in the back seat and enjoy the same kind of luxury as the front seat in the back. So we wanted to give the front and back the same priority. So therefore, we have this social lounge concept where the design theme is pretty much emphasizing the width of the cabin and the spaciousness, and we have instrument panel that's pushed down low, and center console is very low and wide for open space feeling. And of course, we have the panoramic roof to bring in the light, so it makes this a very inviting atmosphere and an enjoyable place to be.
Now, you said in your presentation that you actually took a Murano into the wine country.
Oh, yeah,
and you use it the way that your customers might use it. Did that inspire you to kind of come up with this interesting and creative use of the back seat?
Yes, I mean, every time we start a new project, we tend to do this and do something that the customer would do. So in this case, it was going wine tasting, which great for us, good excuse to go on a trip like this. And when we do this, we basically just immerse ourselves in the customer's mindset and lifestyle and experience what they experience. And so that way we get the overall feeling and the flavor of what the vehicle should be. And so as we bring pen to paper and start sketching, this is all already kind of ingrained in our minds, what we need to design. So yeah, it was very helpful and fun.
And to make it comfortable, obviously, I see you've got heated seats back here, and you've got these NASA-inspired, right? I'm doing the air quotes, because I'm not sure. What does that mean, NASA-inspired seats?
Basically, very comfortable seats. You feel weightless, and long trips, no problem. I mean, this car is for road trips, so yeah, very comfortable.
So that's something that obviously is a big differentiator for Nissan, and you've got these seats throughout the lineup, not just in the Murano. But I think this is the first time you're using them in the back, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This car,
So let's talk about kind of the more obvious points of the car, and that's the outside. Now, there are three different design aspects that I want to talk to you about. So let's start with kind of the front end of it. There's this kind of V shape. Where did that come from?
Sure. So, well, actually, we took a holistic approach to designing this car. So when we looked at inspiration, based on what the customers were telling us about, that traveling was a special and fun experience. So we kind of looked back at the jet age of the 1960s when we first have jets, and then they were a new and then special experience. And the style of the machines kind of convey that message of newness and looking towards the future. So we wanted to make the new Murano kind of to follow that line of thought. And so starting with, I think I have to start with the overall proportion of it first without going to the front. So I think, so overall we wanted to make it sleeker. So lower, wider, and a little bit longer, and convey the message of sleekness and the aerodynamic efficiency as well. So in the front, we wanted to create this contrast of it's not only sleek, but it's a very capable crossover. There's this kind of contrast of two worlds going on. So with a very strong V-motion grille, that creates this robust look of confidence. And then with the sleek boomerang lamps, that shows the sleekness and aero flavor as it's swept back towards the back of the car.
So I guess what you're saying is a crossover initially is supposed to be about a vehicle that is somewhat off-road capable, right? That's where it came from. So it's a little bit taller, it's got all-wheel drive. But what you're saying is you're trying to make this also more sporty and more luxurious. So you're taking two things that maybe don't go together, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Off-road, butch ruggedness, and combining it with sleekness and with style.
Yeah, so that's what the original Murano was all about. We kind of invented this part of the segment where, creating the unexpected, and it's about the contrast. So this type of theme moves throughout the vehicle as well, onto the body side, onto the rear. So for example, the lower rocker on the exterior, there are these rugged cladding, but at the same time, they're styled with a sleek and graceful fluid shapes to create that contrast.
Now you kind of mentioned the word jet, right? Jet engine. And you said the back end has a kind of a jet engine proportion. Tell me about that. How is that? How have you interpreted that?
Yeah, so
I don't see any big fins on there.
Yeah, thankfully,
And I don't see those big lights, that were reminiscent of the jet exhaust. So how have you interpreted that for a new era?
So looking at jets for inspiration, we first started out with the sketches and the clay models. We quite literally put the shape of a jet fin on the C-pillar on the graphic. And as we evolved the design, we matured it when we discovered new shapes. And this is what we ended up with, this very fluid and sleek proportion with a new D-pillar graphic that creates a new daylight opening, DLO graphic, which you could recognize from a mile away. That's what we wanted to achieve, is a new proportion, something a bold statement that you could see from a block away.
Yeah, I think part of that is this floating roof, right? This idea that the roof doesn't look like it's connected to anything in the back. Yeah,
that's right. So that conveys a feeling of lightweight and the aerodynamics, and at the same time, it's functional as well. The blackout winglets on the back and combined with the taillights, they all guide the airflow around the back and create the low CD.
31.
Yep, 31.
Yeah, which is the same as apparently a Porsche 911 Turbo.
Yeah, very good.
So if you're racing a Porsche 911 Turbo, you may impress him with your CD, but you won't impress him with the power.
Yeah, well, it'll be more comfortable.
Let's go kind of back to the original design concept. Do you think that this car, because of this kind of luxurious theme, competes with cars that are kind of above its weight class? Like one of the things that you said in the project presentation was a Lexus RX. Is that part of that kind of design goal that was given to you to create a car that kind of punches above its weight class?
Yeah, definitely. So definitely Lexus RX is one of the competitors, and we look to beat it. And the styling is definitely more expressive and bold, and interior is comfortable, luxurious. So yeah, we feel that we've got a strong shot. All
right, now here's your softball question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the design? If you had to pick one. And now we were talking last night, and you had a hard time with this, but there's 3 lists, so give me just one.
Just one, huh?
Yeah. I'll give you top 3. Give me top 3.
Exterior design and interior design.
No, more specific. Be very specific. What are you especially proud of?
Okay, so yeah, on the exterior, we're very proud of the fluid sculptural sheet metal, which took a lot of energy and effort to work with engineering to create, and it's got beautiful reflections, and it creates a new artistic flavor that once again will stand out in the segment.
Yeah, and that's not inexpensive, right? To take basically a concept and create it into a production car, because usually the management at some point will look at the numbers and will say, I love that crease, dude, but it's going to cost over the next 5 years millions of dollars, so we're going to get rid of that. But yet you've managed somehow to keep a lot of that kind of visual interest. How did that work? How come Nissan said, okay, we'll write the check for this?
Yeah, well, for this vehicle, we find is styling and design is very, very important. So we're willing to go the extra effort and go the extra mile, and it was a lot of hard work, but yeah, it came out the way we intended.
Now, how long ago did you design this, or your team? How long ago was this? I mean, how long is that process to today?
So yeah, every vehicle is a little bit different. In
Yeah.
this case, from the first sketch to the model freeze is about 2 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
And how does it work within the company? I mean, obviously there's more designers than just you, right? So how does management come up with a final design? Walk me through the process.
Okay, so in the beginning, we
Yeah.
have in every project, it's usually a global design competition. So
Okay.
we have studios around the world, including London, San Diego, Beijing, and of course Japan. And each studio would, the designers would submit sketches. And so we get to a sketch selection phase where the executives would select a few sketches to be made into the quarter scale clay models. And then we move on to the quarter scale models and develop those into the next step. And then at this stage, we would narrow down to either 2 or 3, depending on project. Of course, we would have a few ideas that we would blow up to the full size. And at that time, we work with engineering to make sure the design is feasible and it could be chosen for production. And then we have the grand finale when we have the executives select the final design. So
It's like a reality show, dude.
Yeah, it's a very exciting part. I think all of us are looking forward to have our design chosen and have it come out on the road.
So you get like 24 designers, and then it goes to like 12, and then yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a hobby. We do our sketches and we hope it makes it out into the road.
Yeah, and yours was the one that made it to the final.
Yeah, in the Murano's case, yes. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So last thing, we took these off, right, because we wanted to see us. But if you ever watch a movie and you see when the headrests are off, doesn't it always bug you? It bugs the hell out of me, right? You're like watching a movie and you don't see the headrest, and you're like, what happened to the headrest?
Yes, and now we're doing it today. So
yeah, it takes me right out of the moment.
Yep.
So who says car design is boring? Apparently, it's like a reality show at the Nissan studios with the top dog designer lending his or her name to innovative and cool designs. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and everyday design reviews. Ciao.